Yo, what up, Outsider Media Group? Caleb here. We here. We got a special guest, man. We got the homie Blackademiks from iBattle recently.
Yo,
made
yo,
his
yo.
return.
Yo, good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah, about to say, go ahead, talk your shit. Shout out whoever you got to shout out, man.
Yo, I mean, first and foremost, like you already said, shout out to iBattle. Shout out to Lex Luthor. He's the one who got me back into battling. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had this crazy battle dropped a couple days ago. Team Urameshi, that's the team. 518's where I'm from. And like I said, it's just good to be here.
That's what's up, man. All right, well let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. Blackademiks versus Luminous dropped. Was it 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I've kind of lost track at this point.
I think 2 days ago. I think it was the middle of the day on Saturday.
So that's dropped. We're getting close to 10,000 views already in 2 days, which I mean for the iBattle platform, I know we've had like however you, but that's a tremendous amount of traffic just for the short amount of time that it's been out.
Sure, especially for two people like, I'm not like a big name and Luminous isn't a big name, so at least not in battle rap, which of course we'll get to later. But so that's just a huge look for everyone, and it's been good.
Yeah, and I mean that's definitely dope. It was your return battle. So go ahead and talk to us about it. Were you nervous? Were you what was your feelings? And how do you feel the battle went overall?
I mean, I'm always nervous before a battle. I can't remember who said it, but I think, it's very important. If you're not nervous before you step into the ring, you don't care anymore, because you're always like worrying like, oh, did I write enough? Or maybe not even so much did I write enough, like, oh, how is this going to go? Should I change that one thing to something else? Like maybe not doubting yourself, but some kind of nerves. Like that gives you the energy to like have a good battle, in my opinion. So I definitely had nerves, but as soon as I introduced myself and I had that huge, crazy reaction, I was like, okay, today's going to be fun. They want to hear a good battle. They want to hear bars. So I knew it was going to go okay. In my opinion, it went a lot better than I expected. I did not have as much ring rust as I expected from being gone for a year. And I think, and a lot of other highly debatable battle. There's so many different factors involved with the battle based on just what actually happened and with your own preference that really decides who the winner is. But I don't think you can say it's a 3-0 either way.
Yeah, I agree completely. So how do you feel about your opponent Luminous? How do you feel about him like as a battle rapper,
Oh, he's fantastic. He's a very, very good battler. I was very happy to be booked against him just because, when I started watching his footage, he's very clean, he's a surgical. Every word he's saying, is leading to something else because he's so good with the multis. He doesn't stumble, he doesn't choke, and someone with a flow like that, that's so dangerous because you can't slip up against that. If I had like a serious stumble or choke, it would have just made him look so much better. So that really pushed me to make sure that I was prepared and that like I knew my material like the back of my hand. And he was going to push me to be really, really good because we have very different styles and he's very good at what he does. And so if he could rock the room better with what he does more than me and my back-to-back punches, it was going to be a really tough uphill battle. So it really forced me to look at my writing and make sure that it's on a very, very good level.
Yeah, and I fully... I think the performance was very good. For you didn't show many signs of ring rust after being gone for a year.
Thank you.
It's just it's gonna. Yeah, I understand it's gonna be a process, but for anybody out there who's gonna go watch the battle, Blackademiks versus Luminous, you should definitely go check it out. Just don't look at the comment section before you get started, because you're gonna be really confused. You're gonna see, oh, Waylon 3-0. Explain what the deal is with that.
Okay.
Man. There's a lot of people confused.
Let's talk about Waylon, the person who was Waylon. So I get booked against Luminous, and the first thing I do when I get booked against somebody, I go to the verse tracker, I find their battles, I watch their battles, look up other stuff about them. Turns out we were already Facebook friends, so we must have become Facebook friends before I disappeared or whatever. And so I go to his page and I find his YouTube channel and I see oh shit. So he also goes by Waylon, which is his gaming YouTube channel. He plays this game called Rust. He does highlight clips and shit like that. And he has a pretty big following, 60,000 followers just on YouTube.
Jesus Christ.
And if you go, it's funny, if you look at his other battles, you'll see a bunch of people saying, "Oh my God, Waylon, you killed this guy, Waylon," da 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 da, because all his followers from YouTube come over to iBattle or whatever league he's battling on and drop comments, which is fantastic. It's great to battle somebody who has that kind of reach outside of battle rap and is bringing people in, because he could have very easily had not ever mentioned battle rap on his other channel and kept the two separate. So I thought it was dope of him to make sure that it got that kind of shine. But yeah, if you go into the comments, there's like 150 comments for him because like all his fan base came over. But I knew, like, before I even started writing, as soon as I saw that shit on other battles, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to win the comment war. I can't even, like, care. There's no fucking way on this earth that I'm going to have enough people saying, yeah, he did good to drown that out. So I don't really worry too much about that. It's kind of like, you know, when your friends watch your battle, they're going to say you won unless you were really, really trash. So there's always going to be that level of favoritism there. So I don't really listen to the Waylon comments, but there are some out there who will say like, yo, yeah, Waylon was pretty good, but this guy was good too, but I still gave it to Waylon. And that's at least more balanced. It's not just, fuck this guy, Waylon 3-0, he bodied him. And it's like, you've never watched a rap battle. Get out of here. Stop it.
The casual fans, man. I think it was who was it? It was somebody in the iBattle group. It might have been Lex, it might have been somebody else, but somebody was saying that the day that the casual battle rap fan learns that they don't have to hate the other person that they feel like lost, it'll be a great step forward, you know?
Yeah, that's who was it? Red Flag said that. Because I think Red Flag shared the battle, and he like said one of the comments where it's like, you know, Waylon's wordplay was so much better than the other guys. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, we're both very, very good. We just, you know, that just also falls back to the preference thing. Luminous has a style that I feel like people who don't watch battle rap will gravitate to more because they hear the flowing, they hear the multis, and a lot of people who may casually or not really listen to rap at any level, they think that's all good rap is. You have to have the multis, you got to have the good flow. Not to say that that's a bad style. I'm more of the punchline, back-to-back punches, that kind of stuff. And so if you're not familiar with battle rap, that may not be a style that works for you. So I already knew, like, from a casual level, on his fan base level, I probably wasn't going to get the win there. But most people I'm talking to who have an ear for battle rap say it's a pretty debatable battle. And that says a lot, especially with, you know, I wrote anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute under what he wrote. So I'll take it.
Yeah, and I mean, that would be my advice to anyone who's like new getting into battle rap is, yes, delivery is a big part of like, if
absolutely.
It doesn't matter, like, some and no shots, but quantum physics, he has like one of the best pens in battle rap, but people just don't feel like he delivers like it to their liking. So yes, like, it's a big deal to like, I don't like people who multi just for the sake of multiing.
Same, absolutely.
I like whenever you can actually like punchline while you're multiing. Like, that's why I've always liked people like Mad Flex, B Magic.
Oh, sure, yeah, because they have the multis and there's punches within the multis that, oh my God, they're insane. And that's something I like about Luminous. Like, he does have some times where like he's rapping and it's kind of a lot of the da 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 da, and that's a little like kind of fluffed. But then what makes him really dangerous is he'll do all of that and it will lead to a really big punch. And because he flowed the same rhyme for so long and it hit like that, it usually hits like a goddamn freight train, which is what happened in this battle. Is a lot of his big punches he led up to.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of the difficult, like, the multi-heavy styles are generally associated with grind time and King of the Dot, and the difficulty in breaking that stigma is the whole, like, the stereotype of, the James Vanderbeek on 8 grams a tweak type of thing, you know, like, where it was just like, it was just kind of like people were like, oh, look, I can internally rhyme these words for a long time.
Right.
And I'm like, but you're kind of just going around the block to check the mail. Like,
exactly. You're not saying anything. I feel like, you know, on a music level, that's perfectly fine, obviously, because you're just jamming out. You don't really give a fuck what they're saying too much. Obviously, there are very lyrical rappers out there that take lyricism, and, you know, the multis and wordplay and put them together. But in battling, you gotta make a point. You can't just rap to rap. You have to rap, but you gotta have something to say too.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go from there. So, I like I say one more time. Go watch if y'all haven't watched. Go watch Luminous versus Blackademiks. Definitely a dope battle. It's a dope return
Definitely,
for the home.
definitely.
And Luminous he showed out yet again.
Oh,
Way
very,
to
very good battler.
But yeah. Yeah. What I was saying was before this, you've been gone for about a year, right?
Yeah,
Can you
I
okay, yeah. Tell us the story about that.
Okay, so if you watch my battle with Luminous, he touches on it briefly. Which first and foremost, shout out to him for bringing that up in a way that was very tasteful, still funny, and not just bringing in a personal to bring up a personal, because he very easily could have just done that for shock value.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been very open about this just because, it was a big part of my life. I dealt with some very serious mental health issues a year ago. I ended up having to be hospitalized and a bunch of other things. And I really just needed time to look at everything that was going on in my life, get myself back healthy mentally, trying to get back healthy physically, and just putting myself in the best position that I can to just do everything that I want to do healthily. So, for instance, now that I'm back battling, I used to want to battle like 4 or 5 times a year, but that would burn me out and make me not want to do it. Now I would much rather have like 2 or 3 battles that are at this level, like me and Luminous, and just use that to push me to the next level instead of just having too much content out there that's all mediocre. It's quality over content. Quality over quantity, rather. So yeah, I was gone for a year. I came back. I mentioned this earlier. Lex Luthor is the reason why I'm back. So earlier this year, at least I think it was earlier this year or late last year. Now I've left Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything about me related to battle rap was like I was not there. It was like Iron Solomon after the Mook battle. I was just gone. I was all kinds of gone. And so like one day out of the blue, I get a call on my cell phone and I pick it up and the person's like, "Yo, is this Blackademiks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who is this?" And he's like, "Yo, it's Lex Luthor." I'm like, "Oh shit, what's up?" And it wasn't on no battle rap shit. He was just straight up like, "Yo, everyone's worried about you. I'm glad to see that you're okay. I'm not calling you on no battle rap stuff. I just want to make sure you're good. Let's stay in contact. Keep talking to me, yada, yada, yada." And he kept reaching out to me over the next few months. And like, I was still working on getting healthy and like being comfortable back in that environment. And then when I finally came back to social media, he was like one of the first people to hit me up. He's like, "Yo, I'm glad you're back. I know you said you're interested in battling. Whenever you're interested in coming back, you just let me know." And so as soon as I was ready, I was like, "Yo, book me for a card." And he said, "I can get you Luminous." And then here we are.
Yeah, and I know, like, I'm not gonna. And this is, I definitely, I respect Lex to the fullest because I've done interviews personally with Flow Leads and Eddie I already,
Mm,
and everyone that we've had on here from iBattle, whether the fans, like, I know a lot of the fans might not be Lex Luthor fans because he doesn't do like as many numbers as some of these other guys,
sure.
but if you listen to the like all the iBattle guys, they all just have nothing but positive things to say about Lex. So shout out to him for just being an absolute
Absolutely.
fucking legend, man.
Absolutely. Lex Luthor, he's the kind of league owner you want if you want to make it to the next level. He's highly supportive. He's always looking out for the best opportunities for you. He's always trying to set you up for the best opportunities. He's easily one of the best matchmakers in battle rap. He'll put 2 battlers together, and I'll see it drop on a card, and I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work. And then they get in the ring, and it's fire. And I'm like, I don't know how he knew this was going to work out, but it did. So yeah, shout out to Lex. He's a real one. I mean, he may not be doing the numbers in the ring, but like behind the scenes, and especially what he's doing with the revival of iBattle, has been absolutely fantastic.
I mean, even like you've seen like the iBattle talent since the resurgence kind of happened. Like he's gotten a lot of them the next level shots, like Dale, Red Flag, Flo Leads, Eddie
Absolutely.
I, like
Absolutely. I mean,
all
you
these
look at
guys.
you look at the GZ right now, like people who are killing in the GZ roster, they're all coming from iBattle.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, shouts to iBattle for breeding that next level of talent because I know it's been a like, and I'm just gonna call it what it is. This is no shot to any league, but like the process fruitful lately. I mean, you've seen like people like Twerk come out of there, but it's been kind of hit or miss. The GZs have been almost even less so because you've had A Ward, Eddie, I mean Shoddy. Like there's
Yeah,
been a few guys, but like a lot of it was like Carter and Peanut. They were around for like a while. Like it's just been difficult cultivating new talent. And now
absolutely.
it seems like the iBattle leagues, the bullpen leagues, these leagues are all like they're creating the future of battle rap, and they're not only just like saying, "Hey, we have these talented guys." They're consistently pushing. Like if you look, John and Lex and those types of guys, they're consistently having their guys on any PG GZ card that's going
Absolutely.
down. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like, in battle rap overall, if we're looking at like the big leagues like KOTD and URL, we're at a very weird transitional period where a lot of the big name legends, they're off doing other stuff. They've had all the battles that they need to have. There's very few like big blockbuster matches or rematches that involve the old guard, for lack of a better term. And so it's really, we're at the point right now where we need to start cultivating this new talent if we're going to let the culture survive. We really need to start looking into who's talented right now, who has that potential but just needs to be groomed, which is something that Lex does a lot, is like he sees people like myself, Eddie I, Dale Denton, Red Flag, and says, okay, you're not there right now, but we're going to get you there. And he always does. He's very, very good at that. And that's what we need in battle rap right now. We need to cultivate this new talent, because it's tough with there being 92 billion battle rappers now, but you got to be able to wade through every other new battle rapper and find the one with some talent and push them up. And that's what the best leagues are doing right now.
Exactly. And I mean part of the reasoning I feel like is because of the fact that we like during this time the leagues were so intent on doing their numbers and raising their name that they didn't really stop to think about the fact that, hey, eventually like Pat Stay, Tay Rock, they're going to retire,
Right,
we gotta make sure that we pass the torch, and they
right,
weren't grooming people, so now they're kind of having to play catch up. But
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
off that for a second, I'm just gonna go back for a second. You were speaking about your own personal struggles, and I completely, if you're in a toxic place, in real life, battle rap is probably one of the worst places to be because it's consistently you hearing, "Hey, you're this piece of shit. You are this." Like it's
absolutely.
just, and
Absolutely.
people will dig for like things in your personal life that you might not really want to speak about, and
Absolutely.
that will become a whole, like it could become a viral moment where, hey, and now everyone knows that I have this eating disorder, that my family
Mm-hmm.
member died, or that this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big thing with me coming back to social media and deciding I wanted to come back to battle rap is, do I want to keep my the issues I had last year a secret, or do I want to just have them out in the open and be like, yep, this is me. You can bring it up or you can choose not to. And I think the way I handled it by just having it out in the open was the best way and the healthiest way, because if I had kept that hidden, I would just be waiting every battle to be like, okay, who's going to bring it up? Who's going to bring it up? Who knows? Who knows? Now it's
Yeah.
just like I can expect it, and like I can just have a pre-buttal or something ready to go. And also, like I said, bringing it up, if you do it in the right way, it's fine. Like going back to Luminous, he had a very clever, well done way to bring up my issues with mental health and suicide. That it wasn't just, you were suicidal, fuck this
Yeah.
guy. That, like it wasn't just, for shock value. He had the wordplay, he had the punches in there, he had the comedy in there, and I respected that. It was really, really well done. And I'm also pretty sure I'm only going to be battling people who I know that even if they are going to take that angle, it'll at least be well done. I'm not going to
Yeah,
battle
it'll be
somebody,
tasteful.
who's not going to like know how to do an angle and like just really shit the bed with it. So
Yeah, and I mean, well, with the like definitely mad respect for you for doing that, but it's
thank you.
almost become a corny like sounding thing, but you kind of just got to like take the B rabbit approach, like here is this, I am me, I am this, now do what you will with that knowledge, cuz you can never make me feel bad about something that I've already made public knowledge.
Exactly. It's like, shout out to Cassius Clay. He's one of the real ones. He just, to get ahead of somebody using this as an angle against him in a battle, he
Yeah,
came out and let everybody know that he was bisexual. And
I
first
remember
and
that.
foremost, that is a that is a ton of courage because,
Yeah,
as we all
that's
know,
bold.
yeah, like I love battle rap to death. I'll be the first person to say that it is one of the best cultures to be a part of, but it's not perfect. It's we have a lot of issues with like sexism, and we have a lot of issues with homophobia and things like that. And that's whatever. But to openly just be like, "Yep, I'm bisexual," deal with it in a culture like battle rap, that takes a lot of courage. You could have very easily just let the person bring the angle up against him, or just never bring it up at all. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's good to like kind of get in front of it and be like, "Yeah, this is me. What do you got to say?" Because eventually, people are going to get sick of hearing it, or it's not going to hit
exactly.
as hard as it used to. Like, people aren't calling Arsenal a bus driver anymore. No one cares about that shit.
Yeah,
At a certain
exactly.
point, an angle becomes so overdone that even if people are still saying it to you, at a certain point, they're going to be like, "That's not enough. You got to have actual bars,"
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, with the like you've spoken on your personal issues. Like I know that another like thing, an angle that like people have taken is, oh, well, you're a black guy, but you sound white. That's always been funny ever since we were young to say,
Sure,
oh, this black guy, he doesn't sound black, as if like there's a predisposed way that
sure,
people
to
of certain
talk.
colors should sound. But like,
I've been
can you?
dealing with that. Yeah, I've been dealing with that since I was a kid. This is nothing new. I'm born and raised in upstate New York, near the capital in the Albany area. And when I was younger, we spent some time down in Baltimore, Maryland when I was really, really little, because that's where my family's actually from. And I remember being in school, and like I had a higher reading level and shit like that, just because. And kids used to tell me all the time, like, "Oh my God, you sound white, this, that, and the third." And like as a kid, it used to really, really bother me. But by the time I got older, I just kind of like, I brushed it off, like, whatever. Like, I don't sound white just because I use like my words correctly. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So when I got into battle rap, I knew that was going to be one of the first things that I hear. And, I take it in stride. Sometimes it hits really, really hard. Sometimes it doesn't. But, it's one of the things that you just kind of deal with it. It's like, being white in battle rap. You go battle a black guy, and they're going to spend 3 rounds talking about how you pretty much raped all of the black race because you're white, So it's just one of the things you just got to take.
And that, I completely agree with that. All right. Well, let me go ahead and like that. That was what I was gonna kind of ask, and you kind of addressed it. But just if there's anything else, like what are some of the struggles that you've encountered, like in your journey to getting where you're at in battle rap? Like what are some difficulties?
I mean, one of the biggest difficulties is the area that I live in. There's battle rap here, but not at the level that's going to bring me to where I want to go. So pretty much all of my battles I've had to travel for. I had to drive about 3 hours to Staten Island for the Luminous battle. When I had my GZ like 3 or 4 years ago, I drove up to Toronto and drove back because I couldn't get a passport in time to fly there. I had to fly to California for a battle. I traveled a lot, and I battled a lot in Massachusetts and New York City. And so there's always a level of stress on top of having the battle with the whole, am I going to get there on time? Am I going to run to an issue? Yada, yada, yada. And then I have to battle and not suck there too, which is also can be tough. Because if I have like a lackluster performance, it's not like, oh, whatever, I'm going to go back to the crib and smoke. It's nope, I got a 2 to 3 hour drive to think about how shitty my performance was. So that can be tough sometimes. And just learning the culture, learning the game, like learning who to trust, who not to trust. I definitely made some mistakes in that regard. And just overall, like learning how to be good, which I think the first step for anybody is just be yourself. Don't let people tell you need to rap a certain way or act a certain way. If you are just yourself and you're genuine, the fans will come. Certain people may not like your style. Like, I mean, for me, I know a lot of people don't like that I bring up dumb, nerdy shit like anime and video games. A lot of people, they write me off immediately. Funny, a lot of people who have me losing against Luminous, they don't follow like anime or games and shit like that. So they're just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And Luminous, he keeps it pretty broad with his kind of content. So it's easier for you to attach to someone like him. But I know deep down, like I have the fan base that cares about, what I'm rapping about. And it may not work for everybody, but it works for the people that do appreciate my content. And that's only going to grow the bigger that I get.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that does bring me to my next question. You know, like there's a couple of bars from your battle, like they hit like really hard for me because I am like familiar with these types of things. You know, like you had the
Okay.
line. I don't remember the exact line, but it was something like "get clocked" in the intro, like Chrono
Chrono
Trigger,
Trigger, yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
and
There's
then
some.
right.
I,
Oh, hold on. And right after that, you had the it was something. It was the Yu Yu Hakusho line, something in the Rose Whip like
oh,
Kurama.
yeah. Pull up in the battle with the Rose Whip like Kurama's weapon. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like how I noticed that didn't get like shout out to Flo Leeds, man. He caught it, you know. But
Oh yeah, Flowlees is the homie. We I think the night before the event we sparred over the phone and we went back and forth with like our material and just like catching up and shit. Yeah, he's a real one. Definitely one of the realest people in battle rap. And he's also one of the best people you want in a battle, just reacting to shit. Like his
yeah,
reactions in our battle and me and versus Luminous are just fantastic. Like there's no way you can't like the guy.
yeah, and but what that leads me to the question, like, how do you ever feel like okay, I gotta like I can't oversaturate this, you know, like not a lot of people know about this type of thing. Like I gotta be careful with how much of this I use because like it's gonna be overhead bars, you know.
Absolutely. Battle rap, you're playing to two audiences. You're playing to the live crowd and you're playing to the people at home. And so you gotta kind of decide how much of the content is only going to hit to people on camera or how much of it is going to hit okay in the room but hit really well on camera and how much of it is going to just be good no matter where it's set. And it's dependent on not only reading the room but reading the league you're battling on. Like, if I'm going to have a URL PG, if I'm having any nerdy stuff, I'm probably keeping it to the very basic, like Dragon Ball Z, maybe Pokemon, shit that I know no matter who you are. If I say it, you know what the hell I'm talking about. iBattle, on the other hand, you look at the people who battle at iBattle, you look at like Flow Leads, Monster Leakness, Dago Diavolo. These are people who have that kind of content in their material, and they bring in that kind of crowd. So I knew a lot of my lines. I knew the Yu Hakusho line. It didn't hit super hard, but it hit just about as well as I wanted it to. Twin machines like Dr. Zero. I knew that was going to hit pretty well. The Chrono Trigger line was risky because it was a little abstract. So I was like, if this doesn't hit, it's going to be rough because it's one of my heavier punches, and I was so glad that it did. But it's all about reading the room and knowing what content to bring to a battle. Some material, it's like, the best example is you look at someone like Iron Solomon who spits at King of the Dot and spits at URL. There's going to be certain things he knows he can get away with or he can say on King of the Dot that he's not really going to be able to say on URL. So it's all about like knowing the league, knowing the people that's watching the battle, and understanding what content you can bring. And that was something, going back to the idea of like what struggles I've had. That was one of the first things that I struggled with when I first battled because I wanted to say all this crazy nerdy shit that I like, but a lot of times I would have like 30 seconds of a round that no one was reacting because no one saw whatever obscure anime I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So the return is done, you know. Where do you go from here? Like who's on your hit list? Who's got to see you?
The big one is Dale Denton. That is someone actually at the event Defiance 4 after I battled Luminous. They asked me the same question. I said, yeah, he's the one that, like, if there's anyone in, like, the iBattle GZ roster that I'm looking at that I'm like, we got to have a conversation, it's definitely him. King Jables. King Jables is
Jables
fire.
is insane.
Holy shit.
Pause for a second. Shouts real quick to Jables. I just saw the other day they announced that he's a member of R3 now.
I did see that. Yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Very, very good battler. Very clean puncher. Sneaky. Very, very sneaky. He'll set up something and you don't even realize it, and you get the punch and you realize what he just set up, and just, oh my God. He's someone like I know I would have to write my best. And that's the kind of people I want to battle. The people that are going to force me to look at what I'm good at and what I'm not good at and make it work so that I don't get bodied by these people. Or those are the two that are probably the big ones that I'm like, I need to battle and to push my pen. But there's also some other ones too that like they would be fun battles. Like Athena on iBattle would be fun because I never battled a girl and she has a very distinct style that works And so she would be somebody that I would be interested in battling. But like, if we're talking just pure, I need to battle them because I want to push my pen. Jables and Dale Denton would be the big two.
All right, and I mean, the names you mentioned, they both had their GZs recently. Is that your goal? Are you trying to get into King of the Dot or what?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually funny. In my first year of battling, it's my first year, maybe first year and a half. I can't remember this far back now, but pretty early into me battle rapping, I got offered the opportunity to go to Toronto and battle on a GZ card. But I was still very, very green. Once again, going back to the whole idea of not reading the crowd. If you go watch, it's me versus Prehistoric. If you go watch that battle, I have content in there that really didn't work for that crowd. And going back and looking at that battle, I'm like, oh, I definitely wouldn't have said that. I would have said that differently. This would have been a setup instead of a punchline, et cetera, et cetera. So I got the GZ look, but I wasn't quite ready for it yet. Whereas now, I feel like, I've talked to Lex about it and I've talked to some others and they're like, yeah, it's about time for you to come back. So I've heard that, they're having a GZ in Massachusetts, October, and Massachusetts is like an hour and a half drive for me. So that's actually super easy. I've talked to 413. They're the guys hosting the GZ. I've shown my battle to Gully because he's actually one who he posted the flyer for the new GZ. And I commented on there's some iBattle names that I think need to get a look. And he was like, yo, man, when are you coming back? And I'm like, I just had a battle. It should be dropping soon. And then it dropped and I just sent it to him. So he has that. I'm hoping I get the call for this one because it'd be pretty perfect. Because what I'm looking for is getting back on that GZ stage because I look at my style and I think it would work the best on King of the Dot just because of my content and like the kind of fan base that I have right now. And what King of the Dot does really interests me. Like, I like battling and I like the idea of traveling. And King of the Dot, they're worldwide. They're in England, they're in Canada, they're all over the country. And that's something that interests me. I don't care so much about being on the highest viewed league in the world. That'd be cool, obviously. I'm not going to turn down a PG or being on URL. But the idea of being able to just rap and get paid to go travel the world and do what I already enjoy is really, really interesting to me and something that I want to do.
Yeah. All right. So Gully, man, go ahead, man. Give him a shot.
That's what I'm saying, man. Put me in, coach. I'm ready, Gully. I'm ready.
But yeah, I mean, if that does happen, we'll definitely have you back on here, to talk about it. Maybe get that
absolutely.
face off in,
Oh, absolutely. That's like on my, like, I have a battle rap bucket list, like, battling a chick and having a face off. That's one of them too. So I'd be super down to have a face off. Those are always super hype.
That's a definite bet. Well, let me ask this. Every time like we have somebody on here, we've had like so far we've had Flow Leads, B Dot, G Lo, we've had some of these names. We ask, what do you do like outside of that? Like, go ahead and plug. Do you have music, merchandise, gaming, anything like that you want to plug? Just go ahead and take this opportunity.
Yeah, sure. I do Twitch streaming. Me and two of my other friends, we have a group of Twitch streamers. We're called the Tipsy Zebra Team, and my Twitch name is Zebrahim, Zebrahim. I haven't been streaming as much recently because, as a lot of people will tell you, when you're getting ready to battle, you can only really focus your creative energy there. So I find it.
Yeah.
I find it to be tough to bounce between, because Twitch, even though it's just sitting there playing games, you got to build your stream up. You got to, have content ready to go and keep people interested. And that's a whole different ballpark than being prepared for a battle. So I've been focusing on that more recently, but I'm going to be getting back into Twitch streaming too. That's pretty much it. Everyone asks when I'm going to make music, and I've never made music before. I don't know if it's something that's in the cards for me. I'm sure it'll happen eventually, but it's not something that's in the foreseeable future. Right now, I'm just really, really focused on battling and getting to the highest platform possible.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of people that they've said on here, it's very difficult to try to battle and make music at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like they always shout out Eddie.
I was just gonna say Eddie I, man, fuck he does it. He drops fire battle after fire battle and then fire track after fire track, and I'm like, there must be two of them. There's got to be two Eddie Eyes, one doing the music, one doing the battling, because that guy's crazy. That's another one, actually, thinking about it, that's probably the third person that I'd be interested in battling, because he's someone who, like, he has, like, the whole package, and, that's someone who'd be tough to battle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then eventually I wouldn't mind seeing, you could have some merchandise, like maybe some anime bars or something.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Like that. That would definitely be. But I mean, I understand it's baby steps. First
right.
back, so we'll see. Maybe it's a GZ, maybe it's I battle next. Who knows?
Yeah, the big plan for 2018, like I said, I'm not trying to battle as much as I used to, like 2 to 3 battles a year that are all just good. I'm gunning for this GZ in October. If that doesn't end up working out, I'll probably be battling on iBattle in the fall. Either way, GZ or not, I will have at least one more iBattle showing before the year's out, and that's pretty much the plan.
Oh yeah, and whenever that happens, we'll definitely give the review of it and whatnot.
Absolutely, of course.
But yeah, all right. Well, I think that's probably just about it. Could you go ahead and do me a solid, man, and shout out the Outsider Media Group before you get out of here?
Of course. This is Blackademiks, and shout out to Outsider Media Group, one of the best media groups in battle rap.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. And well, like I say, you get that shot lined up, we'll definitely have you back on here to talk your shit again. And man, shout out to Blackademiks, shout out to iBattle, shout out to all of them dudes, man. We definitely appreciate having all of y'all.
No doubt. Thank you for having me on.
Salute.
Salute.